Hi everyone, I'm going to show off some of my paper mache dolls in honor of our paper mache video. I'm starting with this Apollo's Knot Milliner's Model beautiful doll from the 1830s. Look at that hairstyle, how it piles up on top of her head with all the curls. You can just see the little comb tuck in there. And she's a Milliner's model doll with her wooden hands. And look at these wonderful little red shoes underneath her dress. She has her original dress on with the guillot sleeves, and alas, her capelet and her apron silk have melted over the years, but she is my oldest doll and my pride and joy. And here is a doll from the 1870s, also with a wonderful hairstyle. You can see in the later years the hairstyle piled up closer to the forehead. One of the ways you can date the dolls. She may be a Muller and Strasberg or an MS Superior. I haven't taken off her clothes because they're sewn on and I don't want to take off the clothes to look for a label. I love this purse that she came with and all the beadwork that's on it. Very elaborate to go with this beautiful elaborate velvet, heavy velvet gown, velvet and silk gown. Maybe she's getting ready to go out for the evening. Over here is a wax over paper mache from probably the 1880s or 90s. She has this beautiful blue glass eyes. She's a dome-headed wax doll with paper mache underneath and composition hands and feet. I've done a little cleaning and fixing up on her. Over here we have another example of a Milliner's model. You can see again the long thin wooden hands. She has a much more plain hairstyle, sort of indicative of the late 1850s moving into the 1860s, the deeply sloped shoulder head. She has a very pretty outfit which I believe has been redone. Look at the blue, the beautiful blue. Oh, her feet are crossed daintily. Beautiful blue feet. And the one next to her, again, is more of an 1860s and 70s. She'd been redressed. And her leather hands probably long fell away, and somebody did a wonderful job of doing some cloth muslin ones. Look at how beautifully articulated her arms are. So we're now going to come over here, and we're going to look at this doll first. She's my first paper mache. She started my paper mache obsession, purchased right here in Richmond. Again, she was purchased in a very tattered outfit. So I've redressed her, and she has that very typical 1870s, moving maybe into the 1880s, probably 1870s, my guess, coming out of the Greiner look. But I think she's a German, not an American doll. And I just wanted to show these beautiful toes. Look at those lovely little toes. I think her feet were probably remade at some point with this sort of newer cloth feet, but she still has her old original beautiful leather hands. And this wonderful doll behind is from the 1850s with these beautiful sausage curls that cascade down her neck. And these lovely, beautiful pupilless set-in glass eyes. Now, mom or grandma was not great with the needlework, and so her arms, at least if these were replacement arms, are just kind of these sad little stubbies, but it gives her a very character charm. And her feet as well are just these very long, very thin boots that aren't very particularly articulated, but her outfit, I believe, is original and just looks beautiful on her. So now moving over to this part of the room, here's another 1880s, beautifully repainted. Look at the work on her face. She is just gorgeous and just absolutely stunningly costumed, with this beautiful outfit and her fan ready to go to the opera. Her leather hands are very beautiful. And again, she has these absolutely fabulous shoes on. Look at those beautiful shoes. I believe the owner, when I purchased them, said they were French. The shoes were French. And she's on a composition, her legs are composition and her hands are these beautiful leather. This wonderful lady over here, again, typical German paper mache. This was my first attempt at replacing hands. She had very stubby arms. Her arms were just tearing apart and just melting away. And again, I redressed her. Look at the wonderful remains of her boots, her articulated boots, the little boot buttons, and what remain of her leather shoes. Now moving over here very quickly. I love her because she hasn't been repainted and she wears a little coin from the 1860s. I also dressed her. She has her original hands, and here you can see how the leather has really aged. And this one too, her leather hands are original. And here's one, here are hands that I made, arms that I made. And so you can see the difference between the replaced arms and the older arms. And again, these sweet little boots on her feet. And I love the red lace-up boots on this big one and her striped stockings. And she would be a Muller and Strasberg from the 1880s. Here are my American girls. These are Greiners. And I'm going to start over here. Here's my earliest Greiner. She's been repainted, so she almost looks like this is what you can imagine a little girl would have received when she got her new doll. And this is one from the 1870s. And this one too from the 1870s. You can see the varnish has turned a little bit yellow on her. I've redressed her. And this sweet girl here, this tiny little milliner's model, again with the cascading curls down the back of her neck, 1850s. And then finally, probably a Schiller with the glass inset eyes and that beautiful, probably horsehair wig. It goes way down her back. And this wonderful velvet outfit, reminiscent of the velvet outfit of my other doll from the 1870s. Look at the buttons on there. It's a treat. So anyway, those are my paper mache dolls.